Welcome to Blog Talk Radio in high fidelity.
Welcome to the Along Came a Writer Network. Opinions expressed in our shows do not necessarily reflect those of the network.
Well, welcome to Chat Noir, Mystery and Suspense. I'm Linda Kozar, your host, and today I am departing a bit from the mystery and suspense to interview an author I've never met in person, Linda Davis. I first saw her on stage at the American Christian Fiction Writers Annual Conference in Nashville, Tennessee this past year, as she accepted the final award of the evening, the celebrated Carol Award, for her breakout novel, The Calling of Ella McFarlane. And she just captivated the entire ballroom with her down-home style of speaking and her charming personality. Plus, Linda Davis is named Linda like me, and she's hilarious. So with great pleasure, it is my pleasure to introduce her to you today. Hello, Linda Davis.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
I mean, I feel like Minnie Pearl, you know? I'm just so glad to be here.
Well, I want to tell people the
Minnie
names
Pearl.
of your two books before we, get into this.
Okay.
The Calling of Ella McFarlane and A Christmas to Remember. Now, The Calling of Ella McFarlane won the Jerry B. Jenkins Operation First Novel Award in 2014, and of course the ACFW Carol Award in 2016. And then A Christmas to Remember is a novella, and that did that just come out? Was that just recent?
That's
what I thought.
Yes, in October, and it's a follow-up. It's 3 years later. You know, you get to see what Ella's up to 3 years later. You know,
oh, awesome. And all these books are available everywhere that fine books are sold online. I like to say.
Indeed. And someone
That's right.
I know ordered through just by calling Barnes & Noble, just called. They ordered it, picked it up at the store, no shipping charge. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, people don't know they can do that, but they can, it's awesome. So I am going to start. I like to start at the beginning. Now, I'm going to tell a little bit about you. You're a historical fiction writer, and we're going to talk about that a little later. The author of one novel and one novella, and that's so far. And you do have a bit of mystery and suspense in The Calling of Ella McFarlane, so we'll talk a little bit about that. You love Jesus. You met your husband, Alan Church. You have a son and a daughter in a veterinary practice together. You will talk about that too, and 6 grandchildren. Okay, so tell us about some of that stuff.
Okay, well, let's see, I love Jesus. I just love him. He is the light of the world, the light of my heart, and it is my joy to write stories that involve him and his being discovered by characters, whether it's initially or discovering his grace in a brand new way. So that's sort of my goal. That's my mission.
Yes,
then,
good mission.
Let's see. I was reared in a home where, of faith. We were one of those families who made it every time the door opened, whether anybody else was there or not, But it wasn't until I was an adult, a number of years later, that I really came to understand the grace of God carries me and covers me between one amen and the next. I honestly, at one point, wondered if I was saved from one amen to the next.
I think everybody does that at some point in their walk, don't you?
Yes. But Max Lucado made a huge difference in my understanding of the grace of God. And I've been attending his church and here in San Antonio for over 20 years. And in the process, my daughter had triplets, and it was a very, very trying pregnancy. And only by the grace of God did those children make it. Anyway, so after they were born, and I just exulted in what I was looking at and feeling, suddenly I remembered, you know what? I've always wanted to leave a legacy of faith in writing. What a perfect time to start thinking about what that legacy of faith is going to be in writing, because I'm not going to be here forever. And
no, wait, that's a perfect segue to my question about how you got started. So you can just keep going.
Sorry. All righty, great. Well, that's how I got started. I've got to say that the very first seeds were planted by my grandmother, Ella, when I was just a little bitty girl. I don't even think I was in school yet. And she would pull me up on her lap and rock in that rocking chair that made that distinctive little crooked sound. And she would tell me about her life in Indian territory, which I thought was the most exciting. Wow. It had to be the most exciting place in the world. And as it turned out, that became the state of Oklahoma. But when she was born and reared there, it was still Indian territory. So she did have some exciting stories to tell. And as I came on through school, when I got to third grade, I thought to myself, Mama, which is what I called her, she only went to third grade. Oh my, that's not a lot of school. And so later on, periodically through my life, I'd wonder how things might have been for her if she's gone on through school. What if she's gotten an education? Where could she have gone, and what could she have done? And those were the seeds and the beginning roots that sprouted. And then when these babies were born, and I so wanted to leave a legacy of faith for them, it all came together in, I'm going to write a story about an Ella, with God's help, in Indian territory that tells the story of grace and how God's grace covers us in more ways than we can imagine. He just layers the grace on us.
Now you had this dream, but now we all know when we start off as writers, we can write papers in college and stuff, but learning to write novels is a whole different thing. So how did you get started from there?
Okay, the first thing that happened was the children were just little babies. They were infants, and I thought, well, I'm going to have to figure out what this is about. So I got online, which was a new experience for me. They are 11 years old, almost 12, and I wasn't that comfortable yet then on the computer and technology and all, but I got on and I started researching, writing novels, and in the process, I stumbled upon, I think God probably put that little, he's the one that tripped me, but I found online an offer to write an essay, and the first prize was the Writing for the Soul Conference.
Oh, okay.
The Jerry Jenkins Writing for the Soul Conference in Colorado Springs.
Which is no more now. which is
Yes,
it's
exactly.
yeah.
It's no
Okay.
more. But, and this was like '06, I think. So I thought, well, I can write an essay and I can turn it in. It was to a radio program here in San Antonio. It was a talk radio show.
Talk radio would
and
be fun too.
Yes, and it was one of the sponsors was Jerry Jenkins and the Writers Guild, Christian Writers Guild. So I thought, you know what, I can do this. I can send this into the radio host, and I won't tell anybody I did it, so nobody will be asking questions. I'll just send it in, and I did. And then I promptly forgot about it. I just forgot I had done it. And
that's the best way.
Yes, I just forgot. Lo and behold, one day at work, I get a phone call, and it's from this radio host, Adam McManus, and he said, Linda Davis, I want you to read your essay on air today. Oh, I forgot that I was on air that time, Linda. I told you I hadn't been on air for.
There you go.
I forgot about that. Anyway, I told him, I said, oh my goodness, I'm at work. And he said, well, this is the day. And he said, how long does it take you to get home? So, man, I took off and I found that essay and read it. And there were 3 of us. And then he announced I won. So I was so amazed. So I got
how exciting.
It was so exciting, and I knew nothing about publishing, but that was a grand beginning. My husband and I got blown out there, went to the conference, stayed at the Broadmoor. Oh, I really felt a confirmation from God that I was on the right track, that this was the path He wanted me on. And I just saw it as a huge learning experience. And then from that point on, I realized I've got to learn. So I went to conferences and I went to workshops and I bought books on writing and submitted little pieces for critique. And then I just wrote a story, just really didn't know what I was doing. I just wrote something from my heart.
Sometimes that's best.
And when I just wrote it from my heart, and it covered 22 years of Ella's life. And an editor of one of the major houses said it sounded interesting, so he had me send the manuscript. And Linda, his answer, anytime there's a rejection, you just feel like you'll never be able to sit down at the computer again. But his rejection was exactly what I needed. It said, he said, it's not well crafted enough. And I thought to myself, well, what does
that's not so bad. There's worse.
Yes. He just said it's just not well crafted enough. So I thought to myself, and I told my husband, well, it's not his job to tell me what well-crafted is. I've got to get out there and learn. So that's when I started American Christian Fiction Writers, and developing my library here and getting online and learning what experts have to say. And I went through a period of extreme discouragement, too, that a lot of writers feel. And there was nothing I could put my finger on. It was about a year before the Operation First Novel contest was announced, the winning. I had gone off and just shut down my computer and not had I didn't write a word for 6 months. But then I woke up one morning and I just felt this longing, this certainty in my heart that I belonged at the computer. So I just started weeping, and I told my husband, I said, I can't deny this any longer. I've got to go in there and put what I've learned in practice. And I opened up a document and typed chapter 1. And 4 months later, I turned it in for the Operation First Novel contest. And the rest is amazing history.
Wow. And so you're drawn to historicals primarily so far, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because
so
you want to share your family history as a legacy.
Yeah. As a legacy.
Do you think that these days with all the kids and, well, adults too, everyone involved in fascination with electronics, that storytelling is becoming a lost art?
Oh, yes.
That we don't just sit around and talk.
Exactly. That is so true. As I have said since this book came out, as a matter of fact, while I was writing it, I thought so many times, why in the world didn't I listen more to Mother? Bless her heart.
She probably wondered that a few times herself, right?
She'd say, come on, let me show you something. She's always saying, come here, I want to show you something. And she'd open up a cedar chest, or she'd open up a box, and I always cooperated, and listened out of one ear. But it's amazing how many of those stories, little tidbits, have come back to me now. But I would so enjoy being able to sit down with her and just enjoy it with her, But I told somebody the other day she has a front row seat in heaven, so she's loving this.
Now I have to ask, would you ever consider writing in another genre, or has it ever occurred to you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Like which one?
I would go, I don't think it would be mystery suspense, although that is my go-to genre for my own just getaway reading. I love mystery suspense, and who knows, it could lead there, but Jamie
Amish.
Turner. No, I doubt Amish. I doubt I would, but if, perhaps. I don't want to close the door on any genre, but that's not what comes to me initially. I love stories with a great deal of heart and depth and beauty of the language. And, for example, I love Ann Tatlock and Jamie Langston Turner. So, a contemporary along those lines, I could definitely imagine myself doing. Yes.
Well, so what are you writing
too.
now? And children's. Okay, that's another one. So what are you writing right now?
Absolutely. Well, right now I'm doing the second novel after The Calling of Ella McFarland. It's a surprise who the heroine is, but it's one of the characters who was in the Calling. And it's 9 years later, 1914. The Great War, World War I, it's just started, and this character has her story begin on the day that World War I breaks out. War is declared.
Well, how long typically does it take you to write an entire novel? I mean, the first time.
The first time, like I said, it would take several years for all of the ideas, the inspirations, the submitting. No, that's not what it needs to be. No. I'm going to start over here, or I need to cut it down. That took several years. This didn't happen overnight by any means. But once I got started, that day after 6 months of trying to make myself not be drawn back into the story, it took me 4 months doing nothing but writing. Just
I think the more
writing
you
and
write,
rewriting.
the less time it has to take because you kind of get in the flow of it, I guess, you know.
Absolutely.
Now
And
I
what
have to
I'm
ask
doing
you.
is,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
No, go on.
yes. No. No, I was saying, yeah. Hey, hello.
Yeah. Okay, now we're running out of time, so I want to be sure to catch everything. Let's see. So,
Okay.
what did it feel like when you heard your name called for the Carol Award? Were you just, floored?
I was absolutely floored. I was actually expecting one of the others to win. And, people say that and they say, "Oh, I'm so surprised. I wasn't expecting this." But I mean, yeah, you've got a 33.33% chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at it the other way, you've got a 67.2% chance of not winning.
That's another way.
That's another way. So I was taking a video of the screen because I thought, I'm going to give this to her. I'm going to get her with contact info and send this to her. And when my name came up and my novel came up, I was just, the camera goes berserk. It shows the ceiling, the floor, going crazy, and then it ends up on the table and flat out, and I'm just saying, oh, no, I couldn't. I just couldn't. And I had prayed for the beauty of God's grace to come through every single award that night. And so as I got up, I thought, oh, the Lord is answering my prayer in such an unexpected way. Anyway, I thought, afterwards, I said, God took my inhibitions that night, and he threw them into the
Well, I tell you what, we were captivated. Nobody could just move. Nobody wanted to stop you. Usually, at the end, they're bringing out the hook to get the last person up. But nobody wanted to do that because you were just so entertaining and funny.
Oh.
That was amazing.
Well, I really, I worked with Sean Kuhn, for a little bit, and it was part of the prize I got for winning the Operation First novel. And he and I talked a lot about my inhibitions, and he said, Linda, just be yourself, okay? He said, just be
So you took that to heart, didn't you?
I said, oh, Sean, the Lord has separated me from my inhibitions as far as the East is from the West.
Well, everybody loved that.
It was a delight, the high point of my life, really. I've never known as much thrill and enjoyment, just pure enjoyment, as that was.
Well, no one's ever going to be able to follow up, how you ended the show this past year. I mean, no one. It's just never going to be the same. No one's ever going to top that, ever. And I've been to a lot of these. So now I thought it would be fun for us to do a Believe It or Not at the end of our interview, just for fun, just for giggles and grins. I like to do lightning rounds or Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is all this little trivia, so we'll talk about it. Okay, so bubble wrap, was that invented to be packing material or wallpaper?
It was packing material, I guess. I'm shocked if it was
well,
wallpaper, but I bet
believe it or not, when they invented it, it was supposed to be 3D wallpaper.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, but it would have been very entertaining if it was wallpaper because you'd be popping that just all day long.
I know.
Or you see your cat jumping up there and popping it and getting scared. Okay. Well, next
that,
question.
no.
The Simon of Simon and Schuster Publishing, since we're writers, is that Simon the singer Carly Simon's dad or the famous playwright and author Neil Simon?
No, not Neil Simon.
Okay, you're right.
Carly
It's Carly Simon's dad. And I didn't know that. That's a little thing I found out. Okay, quick. Which cookie came first, the Oreo or the Hydrox? You remember Hydrox, I'm sure.
Well, actually, they were the same thing, weren't they? I mean, okay.
No, they're competing brands.
Hydrox, I think, was the first. I know in my research for my book, Hydrox.
You're right. Hydrox was first.
Out there.
It was actually it came out actually 4 years before Oreo. I didn't know that. But somehow Hydrox didn't taste as good. I don't know why. I think it was just they probably brainwashed us or something. I don't know.
Right.
I know.
Hydrox.
Okay.
Oreo just has a better sound.
It does. Now, okay, now here's another cookie one. Why is there a string handle on animal cookies? You know those animal crackers that you buy, the special little ones?
Yeah.
I buy those as a treat for me. Are they just to carry around or to hang on a Christmas tree?
Oh, I'll bet you they're to hang on a Christmas tree originally.
You're right.
Bet you anything.
You're right. They were designed to hang on a Christmas tree. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll treat myself and I'll buy one of those cute little boxes and I'll just eat the whole thing. I love those too. They taste better than the other ones. They really do. Okay.
They taste better than the ones, that come in the big jars.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Okay. And the other ones stick to your teeth. But anyway, we won't go there. So what do you call the dot on a lowercase I?
The dot
on a lowercase I.
I have
it's a tough
no
one.
idea.
I had a hard time with that. It's called a tittle, like that scripture. Every jot and tittle. That's the tittle.
Jot and tittle. Oh my goodness. Jot.
I know. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun?
Oh,
I enjoy it.
Use that. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah. There you go. And okay.
Tittle.
The last one is, have you ever heard of a lawn mullet?
A lawn mullet. Is that related at all to a divot? A golf
No.
divot?
You know what a lawn mullet is? It's
haircut. No.
A neatly manicured front yard with an unmowed mess in the back.
There you go. Well, that makes sense.
I know. So, okay, so people can find your books just about anywhere, and they're in print too. Are you going? Are your books in Audible as well?
Not yet, but I hope they will be. Just stay tuned for that.
Well, you'll have to find just the right narrator to play Ella. You know, that should be fun.
Ella,
interviewing people for that. So people.
I have a book trailer that I had done that was done for Calling. That narrator's voice is beautiful.
Okay, and you can find that. People can see that book trailer on your website, which is Linda at lindabrooksdavis.com. And they can find you on Facebook and Twitter and Goodreads and Pinterest. They can find you just about anywhere in the universe.
And they can find also the video of my little granddaughter, Ella, who was named for my grandmother, Ella. There's this little Ella thread that runs through our family.
Amen. Well, we ran out of time. We are totally out of time. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I want to have you back when you write your follow-up book. I definitely want to have you
I
back,
will.
and we'll get into some more
I'll let you know.
stuff. Yeah, and you
Okay,
know what?
great.
Next time you bring me some trivia, and you can quiz me next time. How's that?
Okay, that'll be fun. Yes.
It'll be Linda
I
to
think I would
Linda,
go
and
into, I think I'll go into my historical treasure house.
there you
There's
go.
lots of I've already got one right now that I'm gonna.
Okay, there you go. Okay, you save it.
All
So
right,
next time we'll do that.
I will.
Well, thank you
Okay,
so much,
great.
Linda. Linda Davis. Check out her
Thank you.
books. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Linda. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.